Why did it take me so long to check this one out? For not a lot of money, you're getting a pretty unique guitar here with a very cool and interesting set of features. It's the Ibanez AZES 40, or AZES, AZES 40, call it whatever you like. So let's check out some tones, and we'll check out some of these cool features, and we can take it to a gig. And then we'll go over some of the pros and cons. Let's get to it. Right, here's the specs. Okay, we have a poplar body. The guitar weighs in at 6.86 pounds. More on that later. We've got a maple neck with 22 medium frets with a Jatoba fretboard with white dot inlays. Interestingly, it's a 25-inch scale length with a 9.5-inch radius fretboard and a 42mm nut. It's an HSS pickup configuration with the Dynamix 9 switch, and this is a very cool circuit. More on this later. The pickups are listed as an Accord ceramic humbucker in the bridge and a pair of essential ceramic single coils in the neck and middle. The hardware is all chrome. The tuners are Ibanez split shaft tuners, very cool. The bridge is listed as a T106 with these newly designed comfort steel saddles. It's also rocking this cool mono unit output jack, more on that later too. And it comes stock with 10-46 D'Addario strings. And it comes in these finishes: tungsten, purest blue, pastel pink, mint green and black. And this guitar also comes as a 3 single coil variant, the AZES31, which looks absolutely stunning in this Arctic Ocean metallic. Ooh, love it! Right, before we get into this cool switching, there's just a couple of things. First, I'm absolutely loving how Ibanez are just telling it exactly like it is with the specs. For example, the nut, 42mm nut, it's probably plastic, but they're not touting it as something like synthetic bone, like some companies do. You know who they are. And they just straight up tell you that it's ceramic pickups too, whereas some other companies might try and hide that fact by giving it a funky model name or something. Not that there's anything wrong with ceramics. Anyway, we just quickly need to talk about the decision to go for the 25-inch scale length and Ibanez marketing this guitar as AZ Essentials, or AZ Essentials. This gives the impression that it's marketed towards beginners, which it is. So I thought, what's the point in giving a beginner all these unnecessary complicated switching options? Well, it's because Ibanez are brilliant. It's not just designed for kids and beginners, they're also thinking about all players with smaller hands who like a shorter scale and would appreciate these cool switching options. What other companies thinking of those players? If you can think of any, let me know in the comments. Speaking of the switching options, let's get into it. This is the most interesting part about this guitar, in my opinion. They're calling it the Dynamix 9 switching system. The 9 means 9 tones. That's a solid switch. Now, this is very similar to the currently very trendy freeway 10-way blade switch. And I've had 3 of them on guitars in the past and 2 of them failed. So personally, I wouldn't recommend them, but that's a story for another day. Anyway, this Dynamics 9 switching seems like just a much more robust and better way of doing pretty much the same thing. Using the alter switch, this guitar turns into a different beast.
Welcome to your doom.
Love it. In the down position, I don't know why I'm holding it like this. Sorry about that. So, in the down position, we have the 5-way switch working as you'd expect. But in position 2, and yes, that's the right number, we have the middle single coil and the bridge inner coil split. Nice. When we turn the alter switch back up, and we'll go back to position 1, it's just the full humbucker as normal. That's why it's the Dynamics 9, not the same as the freeway 10-way switch. So there's one less option, but we've still got a lot of options. Position 2 is now the humbucker split to the inner coil only. In position 3, we'll have the full humbucker and the neck and middle pickups in series. This kind of turns the 2 single coils into like a humbucker. So it sounds a bit like an HH guitar would in the middle position. Kinda. Position 4 is the humbucker outer coil split with the neck pickup. So now you're kind of in Telecaster middle position territory. And position 5 is the neck and middle pickups in series again, essentially creating a neck humbucker. Now, that's a lot of options. You could argue too many, but I can tell you from when I was gigging my guitar with the 10-way freeway switch, I would find myself using in normal mode positions 1, 2, 4 and 5. I rarely use the middle pickup. I know I should, sorry. And in the altered mode, I would use position 4 for that kind of tele middle position sound, and sometimes position 2 to get the split humbucker single coil in the bridge. Sometimes. So I would probably see myself using 5 to 6 tones out of the 9 available, whereas on a standard 5-way switch, I usually use 4 out of the 5. But you might get more use out of the other sounds. I personally am not really a fan of neck humbucker tones, so if you are, there's potentially another 2 to 3 tones that you might enjoy there. Could use all of them. Sorry, I can't talk about switching systems and just not mention how the switching works on this Charvel. Oh, I've done a video on it, I'll put it up in the linky thing there or in the description, but 5-way selector switch on this, when I'm gigging, I use every single option. Love it. Check it out. And speaking of gigging, the Ibanez AZES 40. Can you gig it? Yes, yes you can. Hey, if you've not yet subscribed to the channel, please do consider hitting subscribe if you've liked what you've seen so far. It helps grow the channel and stuff, and yeah, you might like it. Cheers for that. And again, speaking of gigging, just a quick wee observation on the weight. It's actually an ideal weight for gigging. It's under £7, which is fantastic. It's quite a dinky wee body, but it's still 45mm thick, and it has the skinny wee trem block, but it still feels kinda dense, like heavy in proportion to its size, if that makes sense. I think with it being aimed at younger or smaller people, they could have shaved another couple of millimetres off of the body thickness and got it even lighter still. But that's just my opinion. Right, let's have a look at the pros and cons. Starting with the pros. Number 1, versatility. Tonal versatility. Just rewatch that bit about the switching. That's that covered. Number 2, this is such a simple one, but the output jack design. I absolutely love this. It's all one piece, so it just feels super robust, so you never have to worry about retightening that bolt that always comes loose. Love it. Number 3, the neck. 9.5-inch fretboard radius. This is a personal preference of mine. Love it. And the neck profile is quite comfortable too. It's a D-shaped profile, and it's not like super thin, but it's also not too chunky. Number 4, the rounded neck heel joint. This is up there with the best of them, like your Charvels and your Jets. Number 5, their newly designed rounded bridge saddles. Here's a close-up. These are possibly my new favourites. Absolutely loving these. Number 6, the split shaft tuners. These are essentially as good as locking tuners, and it's great that we're getting them for this price, so good on you, Ibanez. I'm impressed. Number 7, just the overall quality and fit and finish. They've just done a great job here. Congrats. Right, moving on to the cons. There's none. Okay, there's a few, but they're all like really nitpicky. Number 1, the pickups. Although I do love all the switching versatility, I'm just not a fan of the sound of the pickups. They're just a bit too modern and hot for my tastes. Number 2, the Jatoba fretboard. Although it actually feels really nice, I'm just not a big fan of the look of it. I prefer my maple and roasted maple. I think that might look better on this guitar, but there you go. Number 3, the mint green pickguard. Remember, I did say I was nitpicking here. I'm not a fan of this mint green colour, and I think it's always way worse when it doesn't match the pickup covers and controls. Number 4, the trem. 2 things, it's a thin wee block, and then the other thing is the screw arm. It's super secure and tight once you get it in, but it takes quite a lot of turns, and you've got to line it up perfectly straight to get it to bite. It's a bit annoying. In operation, it's fine. Could probably do with the setup, but not bad. Number 5, the string trees. Sorry, but it's these useless butterfly ones again, which is just a wee bit disappointing when Ibanez have put so much thought into this guitar with the output jack, the vintage split shaft tuners, all these other various little details, the saddles. I think they could have put a bit more attention to detail in the string trees. But there you go. I mean, it's a really nitpicky thing, like we said, eh? Sorry. So, all in all, I think this is just such a well thought out and expertly designed guitar. There's really nothing else quite like it on the market at this price point. So, Have you tried one of these yet? Would you try one? Is there any deal breakers for you here? Do you know of anything else similar that I don't know about? Let me know about it in the comments. So for me, even though I'm super impressed with this guitar, I won't be keeping it. I prefer a C-shaped neck and a 25.5" scale length, which you can't really change here, and more vintage voiced pickups, which you can change. But there are some parts of this guitar that I absolutely love, so I'm going to steal them. I'm going to take this Dynamix 9 switch and these saddles, and I'm going to put them in my Fazley Refinish parts caster guitar thing that I'm working on. Link in the description. On this guitar I'll have the switch replaced here to just do a coil split on the humbucker, and I'll replace the saddles with something of a decent standard. And then I'll move this one on at a much reduced price. So, if Ibanez bring out a new range of these, I'd love to see a roasted maple neck, C-shape, not likely, but you never know, we can dream. This is a great guitar which will tick a lot of boxes for a lot of people, but it just wasn't for me. And I love how we get to see some innovation going on here with some of the parts, rather than just the same old stuff recycled over and over again. Good on you, Ibanez, you've done a great job here. If you've enjoyed the video, please do hit like, that helps the video, and I like it when you do that. Right then, until next time, thanks for watching. See you later.